And we are live. How is everyone doing out there? We got an amazing guest in house today. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on, dude. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. One of my favorite companies out there right now. Just amazing. I think what really got me going with you is your butter, but also, I mean, that butter is just so good. I love your oil. Don't get me wrong, but that butter is the big selling point for me.
Right.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
I appreciate it.
I have it sitting
I
on
appreciate
my
that.
shelf as just a like, hey, you gotta. So good, so ridiculously good. You
Nice.
can
Yeah, you
tell
got
it's
yeah, that's
got the
good, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
yeah Salem
You
smoked
like that
meat.
new scent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Loving it,
Sam's okay. That's good.
loving it. It's amazing. Yes.
I went a little old school and kind of went with the old stuff.
Oh, Shatterfly is
This
one
is
of the
the
top colognes.
Munchies.
Yeah. What do you got?
Munchies. This is like the
Okay.
old school, the old labels that he had.
Nice. Yeah, good stuff. And we've talked before,
Yeah,
Mike,
there's
but
a,
I'll tell you that yeah, it's good stuff.
yeah,
I
good.
top tier, top 10. You know, along with my buddy out here, Tyson. Have you been able to try out Copper Johns?
Oh, I have. Yeah, that's
No, me and
pretty
Tyson's actually we've been yeah, Tyson and I we've been talking about like linking up and maybe doing some trading or figuring something out. But I heard he's got amazing stuff, man, and he's also just an awesome dude. So that makes it even that much more better.
Yeah, that's the whole thing for me is that if I think you're a good good company, awesome company, but your owner and the owner is awesome, top. That's exactly what makes me connect with people. Great owners and great products, you know. And
right.
there's a few in the game, but you're definitely one of them, which I've absolutely enjoyed getting to try out your products. So
Well, thank you,
especially,
man.
I really like the fall scents. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear that your products are liked, and obviously that people enjoy me. They enjoy this beautiful face being
All that
around,
goodness.
Right.
All that goodness.
uh, all that good stuff.
So you're
I
from
mean,
Tennessee. You're in Tennessee right now,
yeah,
but you've gone between there and Michigan and then back to Tennessee again.
correct. Yeah, I was born down here. I grew up in Michigan, in Detroit, and I lived there for 25 plus years, and we moved back down here a couple years ago. My wife and I, with our kids.
Nice. How did you like the weather change?
Oh, it's great, especially now. Like today was like 75 out, so that was, my in-laws was telling my wife as James is sitting up there like that's winter. He says he's laughing,
Right.
but no, and like I think it's like 40 up there today. So, but you're out in Arizona, so you guys kind of got the heat too. So
Hot,
depending
yeah.
on I guess the part,
Hot.
but
Yeah,
no, it's definitely it's a big change. To the culture, everything's a lot different. But I love it. I love it down here. So
I think there's something to be said about the South, and people don't explain the Southern hospitality until you really see it for yourself.
yeah,
Absolutely so different. So different. People at any restaurant. I remember being at a Waffle House in Sarasota, Florida, and this guy couldn't help me out enough. And just the Southern accent tracks you in. You're just like, oh, yeah, I want another waffle. Absolutely, I want another waffle.
he's upselling you just because of his accent. I don't have the accent though. From people around here tell me that I have an accent. I have a northern accent, I guess. I have
I
a
don't really hear. I don't
Midwest.
really hear an accent. I don't hear an accent. Really.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah,
I guess
you
I'm
got
normal. I am.
Normal.
that. That's funny. That's awesome. So you're moved out there, and then so what made you want to get into this business? This is a crazy business. What made you get into it? What was your kind of experience with that?
To be honest, I just felt like I just the products that I used. I'm like, well, I can. I mean, I'm not going to blast any companies, but I just felt like I can make a better product. For and plus. you know, I have that entrepreneur spirit in me, you know, like I've always just, you know, kind of wanted to do my own thing because, you know, when you put in 60, 70 hours a week for a company and, you know, whether you're making good money or not, it's, you know, at the end of the day, I always think like, you know, dang, man, you know, how much money did they just make off of me tonight, you know?
Right.
Right.
And I not even, not it's just about money, but just, you know, so I just kind of started venturing off and trying my own product or making my own stuff. And then it just
How
started.
long did it take you to create like I guess a carrier blend, I guess?
It took
Like
me
you
about
were-
3 years. Well, I had a bunch of different ones. At one point, I had a carrier blend that was like 7 or 8 oils. And, you know, and I, at that, you know, and then I had simple ones. And the one I have now is pretty simple. But it felt like there wasn't too much of a difference between having a bunch compared to what I have now. So I figured simplicity isn't a bad thing. And yeah, but honestly, I worked on it for like three years or so before I really started to put in the effort into the company. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I don't know if you guys can hear my kids. It's getting close to bedtime, and we got little ones, so there may be some, you know, the gloves come off at certain times of the day, and they're like, nah, it ain't bedtime around here. So if you hear them screaming, I promise you, there's no abuse. It's just
That's good time. So how old are your kids? You said you had 3.
yeah. I have 3. I have 2 boys and a girl. My oldest, he'll be 7 in December. My middle child, she's my daughter. She'll be 4 in February, and then my youngest son, he's 2. He'll be 3 in May.
Oh, that's exciting. That's a good
Yeah,
age.
so they're pretty close together. We had 3 kids in 4 years, so we've been pretty busy. You know, we actually would have had a child. We wanted 4, and we would have had a child in between my oldest and my daughter. That little gap there. But my wife, she was in she got accepted in nursing school, so she was in the program, and it wasn't, you know, there was, you know, no way she could get pregnant. You know what I mean? For her to, it took her long enough to get accepted into the program. So we waited, and then once she finished, you know, her and I though, we it's pretty much like, you ready to have a kid? Yep. Boom. All right, you're pregnant. You know. So after after 3, I said, listen, honey, you know, I said, you good? She's like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, all right, we're done. You know. So
Tomahawk had a question about the discount code USA35. How long is that good till? Midnight?
It's good till tonight. It'll be good till midnight tonight, Central Time.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty good discounts, guys. So definitely use that up. USA35. I mean, definitely gracious enough to bless us with a 35% off code. So take advantage of that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey,
and we have a giveaway tonight too. So
yeah, we have a giveaway.
Yeah, I always I'm one of those people that I wait a little bit on the giveaways because, you know, I want to get to know you, and giveaways.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So that is some 3 kids. So you said, hey, I can make a better product, but you did the Q&A. I appreciate that. That the Q&A, the quality assurance piece, is something that I think that people kind of forget about. That's one of the biggest parts of owning a company, is that quality assurance and testing out your products and making sure that they're awesome before they even hit market, and they're not just a DIY and I'm going to slip it out the door.
Right.
This is a hard business, and this isn't. And to be able to be profitable, you have to be producing something good, which you definitely are. But you had to put the research in way prior. Now, what was your prior experience with mixing? Did you know, what kind of led you to your recipes? And then
well, you know, I'm a huge advocate for the cannabis plant. So, you know, I grew up in Michigan, and up there the laws are a lot more liberal as far as things that are legal and not legal or whatever, as far as the whole plant in general. So, and through research, I found out about hemp seed oil, and I'm like, wow. So, that threw up like a big interest. So I started purchasing it, and then I found, I found out that it just worked really well for what I liked. The one thing that I always stood out to me was how fast it was off of my hands. Like I didn't have to go and grab a towel, after I put the oil in. I don't like the greasy feeling afterward, me personally, right? So that was one thing that kind of drew me to it, and then just the idea of that, where it comes from. I was always intrigued by, and then just I through research, jojoba oil. Obviously, everybody knows the benefits of that. The sweet almond oil, they just all kind of blended real well together for me. They held the scents the way that I wanted them to smell. And then with the butters, I don't know how much butter I had at one point. I had so many different kinds of butters. I had all of the shea butters, mango butters, all kinds of stuff. And the biggest thing that I always found, and I've mentioned it before, is they didn't hold the scent the same with the oils. Sometimes that you could smell the butter or whatever in it. So, once I kind of got that blended down to where the scents were kind of holding the same, that's when I was like, okay, this is. And then, ironically enough, I mean, I guess with the oil, I didn't really need to add the sweet almond oil. I just kind of made it because I had the butter, just so they kind of all, was like the same. And then it's been working out pretty good. But I am been reformulating some stuff, so I'm gonna come out with some other things that I've found that not necessarily work better, but just seem to maybe. One thing I personally think about my company is my scents. They don't last as long as they should, and it's not the fact of that I haven't tried many different suppliers. I've spent so much money trying to get these scents down, and so I don't know. In theory, I'm thinking maybe it's just the blend of oils, maybe because they dry so quick or whatever, they absorb so quick. Maybe the scent, the fragrance kind of. And I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but so I've come up with these other blends that seem to be working just as well, and they seem to be holding the scents in beard a lot longer. So that's something in the future I'm gonna start slowly putting out there, get some testers and stuff. So
that's one thing I noticed too. Like even when I put your stuff in today, even like when you said that the hand feel, even feeling my hands like right now, they feel like really soft. Like they don't feel greasy at all. Even after I put it in, it probably took like maybe a minute or something like that, and it would just absorb right away. And your hands are like so soft.
Yeah. And I work with my hands a lot. Like I like to build stuff and stuff. So I have calluses and I have like rougher type hands. So certain oils will sit on them. Like they just won't absorb. They won't penetrate. And these oils seem to do that for me. So it just works out good, and obviously I'm open for, constructive criticism too, though. So as I put stuff out, I mean, just because I like it, don't mean, it's more about the consumer. Right. So, but once I started putting products out, to friends, to, random people, and I was getting good feedback on this carrier blend. I was like, well, then there we go. So then, Chronic just started to come about, and here we are today. So
nice.
And I've heard that you're going to go with a CBD line where you're going to be using either full or isolate spectrum.
Yeah,
CBD
I'm gonna use all of them, full, broad, and isolate. So I have all kinds of different stuff mixed up and ready to go. I'm literally waiting for my payment processing to go through. There's a lot of paperwork stuff that I've gone through, vetting processes that you go through, and unfortunately, it's taking a little bit longer for them to clear my company. And I could probably easily just reach out to people like, hey, I got the CBD ready, pay me through my personal PayPal or something. But I'm not trying to do nothing like that. I want it to be all legit and legal in the company. So I'm just waiting. There's other things that I'm looking into if this doesn't fall the way I want it to. But the way it all works is, you know, because of the payment and with the banks, and you know, there's just a lot of stuff. You know, I hate to have to, you know, put up $30,000 that I don't have to be able to access, you know, money. But it's moving forward, and hopefully it'll all work out.
They say you're using the you said full, broad, and isolate or something, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be coming out with all three. I'm gonna have full spectrum, broad spectrum, and isolate.
So you're gonna have that as
Hey, what's up, brother?
like a selection, or just like it's all gonna be in there at once, or just different people can choose
No,
which one they want?
Well, to be honest with you, the way it works, man, I'm no scientist. I'm no guru with the hemp stuff. But listen, I'll tell you one thing. The way they're all broken down, right? You have isolate. It's isolated down to just CBD. Just to give you like a quick understanding of how I understand it. You need to, you know, anybody out there listening, fact check yourself. You know, do your own research. But from what I understand, isolate, it's isolated down to CBD. You know, 99 plus or minus %. And then you have broad spectrum, which is everything except for THC is pulled out of it. Okay, so you have all the CBN, CBG, CBD, the terpenes, everything's in it. And then you have full spectrum, which has everything, including the THC, which legally, if it's hemp products, it has to be less than 0.3%, right? So like I would never mix isolate with full spectrum, because to me, it'd be like taking like a gallon of whole milk of fat, you know, everything in it, and then taking a gallon of skim milk and then mixing them together, right? I mean, that's how I kind of see it, you know, in my eyes. Not saying that it's anything wrong with it or there's anything bad about it, but it just, to me, it kind of defeats the purpose of separating what they truly are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to come out with a full spectrum, a broad spectrum, and an isolate of each oil, of each scent, eventually, as they roll out. And obviously I'll see what customers like, and I'll try to make investments.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
unless you have people like a selection, though, you know what I'm saying? Like if they don't want full spectrum, they're gonna have isolate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, CBN, particles. Yeah, CBN. I think was CBN, CBG. There's different compounds of CBD. You know, there's different compound levels or percentage of each of these. You know what I mean? There's so many different, you know, and then you got the terpenes, and they have their benefits. You know, it's like certain essential oils have their benefits, right? So the terpenes, they have their benefits. Whether they're going to be something where you're like, oh my God, you know, this is the best, or it's just something that's, you know, very, very, you know, small and it's kind of noticeable or not, you know. But yeah, I personally think that they all have their own benefits, and really at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what a person they feel comfortable with in their beard. You know, some people will be like, oh, full spectrum, there's THC in it, I can't mess with it. You know, I can't take that risk. You know, because at the end, I mean, you could use it. Not saying that it probably would happen, you could use it. Maybe it shows up on a drug test. Maybe your body metabolizes it different. And
I think it was like you have to drink like I think Dan said it, like you have to drink like 500 bottles of beard oil for it to
right. You would have to. It's something crazy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, you never know, right? And so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for some, you know, I would always, you know,
peace of mind. People feel like, okay, this has nothing. I have nothing to worry about, even though it's just impossible for you to fail a drug test. You know what I'm saying? If it had full spectrum, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's peace of mind. So they're like, okay.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's like anything in life, nothing is guaranteed except for death, I think, right? So for anyone that's guaranteed, you know, I mean, guarantee there's nothing in it. I mean, that's just, to me, I would never feel comfortable doing that. But I always put non-detected, you know, there's non-detected THC. But maybe that batch that was tested, right? Because I think when they go out for their COA tests and all that stuff like that, I mean, it's only so much that gets tested, right? I mean, someone might make however many tons of product, but they're not sending all of it out to get tested. So you never know, right? There's always that chance. So, but I think overall, I mean, most people shouldn't be worried.
Right, right.
And what's up to anybody in the chat right now? I mean, I'm on my phone, so I can't see any of the comments. So I do apologize.
Yeah, I'm looking for pertinent ones. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we're looking for the good ones that we can share with everybody.
There hasn't been many, so
there's always good chats, but it's usually like, "Hey, how are you? Hey, good to see you."
No, I'm just cutting up.
Yeah. But I will tell you this, that I am going to test CBD by itself, just the oils that I'm getting. I got some from Miners, and then I also got some from Fable. And I'm just going to do like 2 or 3 weeks at least of just testing those products out, just to get a good testing of what does CBD really offer. I'm going to try to break it down a little bit, but I definitely want to see I'm kind of doing the same thing with Inland Sea Minerals. So Tyson is doing that same type of thing. So I'll have to talk to you, Mike, and see when you guys are ready to release, and I can have you guys as part of my project.
That's because you're doing two different, because they're two different spectrums too. There's one's full spectrum and one's isolate. So
that's the whole thing.
Is that Miners and them? They have different compared to Fable.
Yeah, I can't remember who has full, and I can't remember. I think full
has Fable, and then isolate is Miners.
Yeah, and then I think CBG is also. I can't remember. He said isolate. I thought.
I think he's full spectrum. I think
maybe he is full.
I think he's doing 100 milligram full spectrum
CBG. Oh, you're talking about Chesapeake. Okay, because there's actually CBG in. That's a compound.
Oh, it's another acronym. Right.
No, there's another compound of like CBD. Yeah, CBN, CBGs. Actually, CBG is super expensive, and I would love to just release some CBG products, but it's so expensive, and people are still learning about CBD. So to come out with just a isolated CBG product and plus it's all still in testing, right? I mean, nobody really, no
science facts behind it.
There's not. I mean, I know the facts and the stuff that I try to read are the ones that are up to date, right? I mean, you read some from 2018, they might say isolate's the best because in 2018 maybe everyone thought it was, but then today they say full spectrum is maybe better because of the entourage effect. I mean, to me personally, the way I try to do my research is I gather as much of it as I can, and I try to compare it all and see where stuff lines up, and where things don't add up, and make sure obviously it's credible, and just that's why I haven't released it yet, man. I've tested a lot of it, and I've tried a lot of it, and I've ingested it. I've used it as topical skin lotion for pain. I mean, there's so many different things that I've done with it. I mean, it's one of the reasons why it hasn't been released yet, because when I drop it, I just want it to be that hype that it's built up behind it. So,
right.
That's exactly what, and the hype. So that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm looking for in my testing. There is the hype that goes along with CBD, which you can go to Circle K and go buy CBD. And then what is really the good stuff that you really need to buy, because this really is the stuff that you need to be. I'm full for, I completely agree with you, Mike, that this CBD it's trendy, but it's also good for you. But the parts that I'm looking for is what part of this is good for you, and the breakdown, like why isn't the stuff at the gas station something that you should be buying versus why should you be buying something from Mike or from so-and-so? What's the different, what's the edibles? What are those pieces of it that's really the healthy part of it? And I think that there's a lot of research out. You're right. Absolutely. A ton of research out that still needs to be had. There's still a lot of research that's out there that we need to get more information on in order to make good product decisions.
Right. Oh, absolutely. That's why I've just keep testing, and why I'm waiting for this process to go through with the payment. I continue to test and send it to people that I know, they're gonna be straight up with me, or whatever. And I'll be honest, I've got nothing but good feedback. I have tried multiple suppliers for my products, and that's something else that it hurts to pocket it sometimes when you're reaching out, dripping up a bunch of CBD. But I think in the long run, regardless of however much money is invested, if the products come out and they're fire, it's all going to be worth it. And that's really what that's what I'm trying to do. And I think I got to dial it down, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised with the amount that you got to use. And not to blast any other companies, because I'll never do that. I wish every company out there nothing but the best, whether you're doing CBD or whatever you're doing. But from what I've learned, man, you got to have enough in there for it to really be effective. And my own personal opinion. So people may be surprised when they see how many mgs are rolling out in some of these bottles, or some of the other products. Because I'm not only coming out with beard products. I have some other stuff literally sitting like right there, like ready to go. Like, as you can see, I can see 4.
Can we get hints? So we got some hints. What is it that we're going to be throwing down? Any
4 extra things besides beard oil, beard butter, that I'm going to be releasing. And it has CBD in it. And it I think they work good. But, I'm excited to release it. I really am, just for the fact that I want to get it out there and hear what people have to say, But I'm waiting for the backlash when people are going to be like, oh, man, all them milligrams in it. And sorry, I got to click something. Because, when you do the math on a bottle of oil, right, and you start breaking it down, the average person uses 1 ml roughly, depending on your beard. Like me, I don't really probably need 1 ml, a whole ml, just because my beard's, it's not like I'm James over here where it's touching my nipples. You know what I mean? On his armpit, he turns. It's like, damn.
It's on top of that, so that's what it's worth.
But every beard's different. Everybody, So, but at the end of the day, though, you need enough in there for it to actually be. I personally think for it to be what it should be. I think if there's not enough, you might not be, doing it any justice. By making it come up a little short. So, so I'm going to launch what I think is going to be the best for my products.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. That's exciting stuff. I enjoy the fact that there's so many companies making great products, and then they just keep expanding their lineup. And it just is almost like, wow. I mean, just every day there's something new out there with some new amazing stuff, and it's small batch, and yours is small batch, crafted out of I don't know if you're doing a lab or you're doing it in your you have your own. I'm assuming you either have a space or something for yourself. That I just absolutely love that process that goes into this, because to me it's like micro brews, art, anything that you're making in these small awesome. It's craft. It's it's all craft beard oil. Awesome. So awesome.
Yeah. Well, I started off in my kitchen and in my master bedroom. My master bedroom is actually I have like a section of it where I was able to make a little, like, not really office, but like a storage area, I guess. But the wife was like, listen, mofo, we ain't doing this forever. You're going to have to figure something out. So I ended up building it was either I take the beard products out, or I just, or I'm sleeping outside and they stay in the house. But no, I'm just kidding. But I ended up building a shop, decent size for what I did. I mean, I'm not a carpenter, but I built a 16 by 12 shop, and I had everything out there. And with the weather down here going up and down, that's something that's been really important to me, is keeping the balance of the temperature of where the products are stored. Just especially with the hemp, because it's, the shelf life on it. I don't want to, jeopardize the integrity of it at all, as far as giving it too much heat or too cold or whatever. So I had it out in my shop. I was getting out there. I was pretty much just waiting on my internet to get out there. Having an issue with that because, I live in the mountains and things are just different around here, I guess. But once it started getting cold and then I was putting a heater out there, I was telling my wife, I'm like, I just don't feel comfortable. I was like, I got to bring it back in the house. I don't want it to get too cold at night. And then during the day, it gets too warm, even though it's all insulated. So we have our bedroom that my daughter was in, but we have another little bedroom. So we were able to move her over to that one. And then I took over this bedroom yesterday. So, it works out good for me. I'm getting it together. But everything's made in house. And once I get it all like laid out and everything, I plan on doing like a little tour of it just to kind of show everybody, like, I'm not going to show you, every, exactly how it's made, but I'll do just a little run through. That's why, actually, if you guys have noticed in all of my other videos, I was always in my kitchen where I had the brick behind me. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but that's why I'm in here with the wall. So I'm actually going to be able to make a little studio in here for when I start pumping out videos for my YouTube channel, because I have a lot of information that I want to share, not only about my products, but CBD, and just, I got some funny shit that I want to talk about, man. I really have a lot of stuff that pops in my head and I would love to share with people, but I don't know. I'd rather do it on a YouTube channel, I think.
Cool, right on. Okay, so tell me one of your funny stories that you can think of that pops in your head, or something you thought in the last week or two that just some funny story.
Oh man, I don't know, dude. That just put me on the spot.
I know.
That's not cool.
Put him on the spot.
Well, okay, like, for an example, I'll give you an example. Like, if it was like a vlog, because obviously it was for YouTube, it'd be like a vlog of, of maybe my day, or something, just the way, when I'm screaming at my kids because they're screaming at me, and then I'm running, in tears because they're winning, and they're only 2, and but just the things that go on day to day, and how, living the entrepreneur life by being, a stay-at-home dad, and I have this business, and I have another business that I run, but I'm also raising kids. There's just a lot of crazy stuff that goes on that I'd love to be able to share, and it just, I think they would be best on YouTube. I probably could put them on IG, but I probably could even do it now, I guess, but.
Yeah, you could, that's the whole thing, is it's fun. I think the YouTube thing is fun to learn, and then, it's really kind of fun to get your stories out there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. It's, for a tech guy, it's fun because I get into the nuances of the video editing, even though I haven't put a video out in a while. But I've actually kind of almost enjoyed the live streams better, to be honest with you. I've really enjoyed doing this because I love meeting with you guys. I love hanging out with my brother James here. It's good times.
Yeah, if I could be on live streams like all the time, I would. Like, seriously. work place. I'm like, I got to work on all the good days that there's live streams. So it's like,
right.
I have to get on one of them.
Yeah. So we were like, hey, he got Thursdays. I got Thursdays available. Let's do it. We're hospitality guys.
Right.
It's a good time.
And actually, there's some stuff that I have, like, ideas, and I don't want to sound like, I don't know, not petty or not, but I have certain ideas on videos as from a company standpoint that I want to do, and I'd hate to, I guess, show my cards before, and not that they're going to go viral, but you never know, man, and it's just, there's some really cool ideas that I have that I write a lot of stuff down.
Cool.
So if an idea pops in my head, whether it's a way to, share a new product or a way to, to give some information on about something or whatever. And I'm going to try to, so I got a bunch of cool stuff, and it's hard to do it when you don't have an area, in my house, because I do have little ones, and they're respectful, but they're, they're my kids, so they're strong-willed, and they're gonna, do their thing too. So
it's good times, man. It's good times. Yeah. So I think we're at 6:36. So I think it's time for a giveaway. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a good amount of people in house. So we have so I'm always trying to find, I hate the numbers. So I always try to find a question, but I want to relate it to Mike and where he lives or something about his company. So I got a good question from Mike today, and it's actually basically your backyard, right?
Yeah, I can pretty much walk there. That's like 5 minutes
walk there. So they're in Mike's area, and your Mike's area is Chattanooga.
Yeah, I'm like 45 minutes west of Chattanooga.
Okay,
southern.
So what you need to do is look up the city. What is the city?
I live in Tracy City.
Okay, so look up
or
that.
You can look up or Suwannee. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. We might be interrupted. I think my kids are about to go to bed.
No problems. No problems.
Sorry, guys. I love everybody.
Don't even worry about it. Family first, man.
Yeah. That usually happens about this time. Yeah, it's 7:30 here. So.
Yeah, you gotta get some kisses in.
You can go ahead. Yeah, they're gonna.
So we're going to give a question about what is a very historical place, and I will give you a time period, 1830 to 1850, that this happened. And the government did something to the Native Americans in that area, and what do they call that? And it's historical to his exact city and his basically. First person with that answer can, and it's something that we did to the Native American, that the U.S. government did to the Native Americans, and it's of a historical significance. It's actually fairly sad, but it is a historical thing that happened in his pretty much your backyard. So,
yeah.
I think
I don't know. A lot of people know about it.
Oh, we do got one.
Yeah, we got it.
Who was the first person on that one?
So the answer is Trail of Tears.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I see Half Baked and Bearded on mine.
That's what I saw too. Cool. Right on. So hook up with
this guy. He can't win no more. No, new question. Josh ain't allowed to win. I said this on the last giveaway I did. He's not allowed to win. Hi, buddy. Say goodnight.
Congratulations, buddy. Night.
Little wave? No. Yeah, I don't like that.
No wave.
Remember. I'll see you in the morning. You can't get that much. No? You want to say bye?
Say bye.
Okay, sorry, guys. Oh, come here.
Say bye.
Say bye.
Adam, tell him peace.
Peace out.
Peace out.
No, we're like poker face. Good night, baby. I love you. Sorry about that.
No worries, man. No worries.
So Josh got a Trail of Tears. Good job, Josh.
Yeah, good job. Very good.
Josh is actually gonna he's asking who hasn't tried Chronic yet. So he's actually saying give it to Healthy Beard, Jay Cruz.
Okay, right on.
Awesome.
Nice. Good job, Josh. Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's the way I love passing.
I was just kidding too, Josh. Don't. I like to mess with him.
It's okay. So Healthy Beard, thank you very much, and reach out to Mike. He is on IG as Chronic Beard. Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 35% off tonight, guys. So USA 35 saves you 35% until midnight.
Oh yeah.
So hit that up.
Yeah. So if you weren't Healthy Beard, go buy 35% off is amazing. He already has good prices, so this is like this is really good deal. Very good deal.
Thank you. Wait till my well, I shouldn't say it now.
It's okay.
Wait. Let's say we're gonna wait. Oh, it don't really matter. Let's say my the Black Friday deal. I'm about to throw out something crazy.
Oh Lord.
There we go. So we got a couple weeks before Black Friday, and he's going to throw out some. So just be prepared. That's the one thing is you want to save up because there's so many. I was like, oh, there's some pretty good deals on Veterans Day, but I'm like, oh, Black Friday's coming right up. It's going to be some amazing deals coming up.
It's only pay for shipping. Is that what it is? Only pay for shipping.
What's that?
Only pay for shipping.
You never know. You know, you never know. I mean, you know what? It might even be like, oh, you get something thrown. Like, you know, there might be a CBD thing thrown in there for free.
Damn.
Or I'm lying, and it's just gonna make people. It's just gonna be a mystery.
Mystery box. A mystery box.
I'm just gonna send you a handwritten thank you card. No, I plan on doing something really cool. I got a really cool idea, so we'll see.
That's in a couple weeks too. It's not too far away. Like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually, you know, last year because I launched September of 2019, and this gentleman up here with the big sexy beard, he was my very first. Look, he's looking in the mirror. He's like, I love me. He was actually my very first reviewer, man. He reached out real soon. He's like, hey, what's up, man? Super cool, man. Like James has been, you know, one of my friends from the beginning, man. So I appreciate him. But no, anyways, last year Scuba actually he put me in his Black Friday deal because I don't remember what I did.
Oh, cool.
50% off or something. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. After that happened, I mean, I was doing okay, I guess, for a super new company. But like when that happened, man, I got so many sales from it, and he didn't even say the name. All he did was he talked about it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's some new company. He called it like a hippie something or bong cigarettes or something. He said, I don't remember exactly. And then he was like, he linked it and he said what the discount was. And I had like, man, I don't know, it was like 100 orders or something like over that day. Yeah, it was something crazy. I wasn't ready for it, but I was like, you know, I made it happen. And after that, you know, it was, you know, things kind of really started moving forward from there. So kind of a cool little, you know, getting back to that point now. So hopefully maybe Scuba, you know, if you're watching, bro, I'm sure he's watching, you know, who's not watching tonight. Maybe he can throw it back out there.
I wish he came in here. That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That's good times, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
We got all sorts of cool people in house today. If anybody has some questions for Chronic Beard from the chat, let me know. Hit us up. We'll be happy to have him answer. You know, we always love the fact that we have the live chat and we have that ability to talk with you guys. So
yeah, I'm an open book, man. So I'll give everything but the formula, pretty much.
Which, you know, that the one thing that it has is some hemp seed oil, and later down the road some CBD. I'm excited for that. And I'm one of those. So Arizona, I'm just going to say this: Arizona passed the law, or passed the law to legalize marijuana. And you know, I'm not gonna be a big person that sits there and is gonna be like my wife. I'm gonna become Snoop Dogg next day. But I'm excited for it to be able to be legal and have all the, you know, I don't think.
Did you just call your wife out? Did you just nonchalantly just?
She said, I'm going to be Snoop Dogg in the backyard. So my wife said, I'm going to be Snoop Dogg in the backyard, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
She's like, I'm going to be Snoop Dogg in the backyard. You're not going to see. And I guess there's a legal amount so we're gardeners. So there's a legal amount that you can grow. Nice. So I guess that's going to be our new crop.
Actually, Andy's going to be in the backyard.
I feel so spiritual now.
That's awesome.
I actually am really excited for the fact that I just think it's stupid. I think it's a better drug than alcohol, and yet it's been illegal for so long. And it was a government thing back in the 50s.
Yeah,
that decided to illegal. They did that same thing with the hemp plant, which had zero to do. You're not going to smoke hemp. There's no hemp plant smoking.
Unless some people smoke it, I think I guess they get that calm from it, a sense of like if you have anxiety or something. I don't know.
But that's the extent. You're not getting the THC hit.
Right. Yeah. How late do you usually do your lives? If you don't
until you want to go home.
Well, I'm home. So.
Home. I mean,
I was gonna see if I could just step off for a second and use the bathroom.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, man. We have time to go show off the dessert of the day.
All right.
So, James, since we got a few minutes, I lacked again. So I'm drinking some really good root beer from Whataburger. It's really good, and I don't know if you guys have Whataburger out there. Do you have Whataburger out there? Have you had Whataburger?
I've heard of it. I'm not sure we've had it or not.
It's like one of my favorite burgers.
I don't look it up. I think I've heard of it. It might be around. I'm not around here, but it might be like somewhere like northern Florida, or around Florida, if there is.
Maybe it's one of the best burgers. It's like I was trying. You've had In-N-Out because you lived in Cali?
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. So In-N-Out, it's different, but it's like a local, really great burger place for me. So growing up in Arizona,
Scott said we have Whataburger, so I'll just try and find it out before it is.
In-N-Out, one of the best. And then I have Whoppers. That is what is left. Last week I had 7 huge bags of Halloween candy. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll just do the Halloween candy thing as a dessert again. This was all that was left. This handful, and I'm just like, I'm definitely a contributor to the fact that we have no bags of dessert. but let's see what you got going on. I know that the man has come up with something amazing to get in today.
I had these. I made these today. Yeah, they're like I would say they're almost like a snickerdoodle like square, I guess you could say. I didn't have. They're supposed to be like muffins, but like I didn't have any muffins, so I made like little kind of squares, like snickerdoodle. Like cinnamon on top, like cinnamon sugar on top. So it's pretty good.
Ooh, cinnamon sugar snickled. Oh. You know, that's the one thing. So there used to be a place just down the street from us that had, it was like one of those fusion foods. So it was called Chino Bandito. And if you ever know, it got into one of those one of those shows where it's like something in dives. Do you know what I'm talking about? With that one guy that would go around and he would, I think it was Puck or whatever his name. Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah,
it was one of those shows where it was like something restaurants and dives.
Diners, that's Guy Fieri.
Yeah,
Diners,
that's it.
Drive-ins and dives. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that dude. So he went to Chino Bandito, and it's a weird place. It's Chinese, Mexican, and Caribbean fusion, so that you can get some jerk chicken. You can get Chinese food, and you can get Mexican food. And they have the best snickerdoodles you've ever eaten in your life. Random, weird, and they make good snickerdoodles. So I used to work about a mile away from this place, and so I would just drop by and get snickerdoodles for Christy, who was like, you can't go snickerdoodle. Good.
So my God, it's almost like a cinnamon sugar cookie. I mean, essentially, it's just like a cinnamon sugar
people
cookie.
out there they're like, Mike, you're 300 pounds. You know what a snickerdoodle is, right? You probably ate 3 snickerdoodles today. Come on.
Those aren't in your cupboard already?
That's it. James sat back. He's like, come on now, Skinny. You know what they are. He's like, you didn't get that big smelling snickerdoodles.
They're in your cupboard. They're like 4 feet that way.
He's like, you didn't have to go to the bathroom. You had to go get you a little snack noodle.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you went to the bathroom, but you got a snack on the way.
He's like, how come you came back chewing? Sorry. He's like, looks like you got a little snickerdoodle in your beard.
He's like, I need to go to the bathroom, guys. Start calling him. Snickerdoodle start calling him.
I'm gonna call Snickerdoodle. Yeah, Snickerdoodle beard.
The bathroom.
No, but seriously, I've heard of them. I just never tried one. And yeah,
they are good. They are
Billy
good.
Billy Rogers said you're having a Christmas scent.
What's that?
Billy Rogers asked if you're coming up with a Christmas scent.
I actually do have a good one that I want to come out with, but I don't know, man. We're gonna see if it comes. It's actually a really nice one too. I can't tell you what it is, but I do have one in mind. I have one. So I actually have a whole bunch of scents. I honestly, I probably have 40 cents right now lined up that I've been working on.
So Nicholas asked, what kind of carrier oils are in CBD?
Are in CBD?
That's what he's asking.
Well,
Just
like,
CBD.
well, I mean, the CBD. Well, it's not really it's a concentrate. It's mixed down. And then you blend it with other oils. Me personally, I'm actually going to add. I have hemp seed oil, jojoba oil, and sweet almond oil, but I'm actually adding a fourth oil for my CBD lineup, just because the fourth oil has more vitamin E in it, and vitamin E's supposed to help like with the CBD a little bit, from what I understand, and plus the oil is actually a really good oil, so I'm sure people will be really happy with it. But yeah, the way CBD kind of works, it comes out as kind of like a concentrate, and then you kind of melt it down, and then you blend it with other oils. You know, like if you were taking it as a tincture, like if you're gonna like ingest it, you'd mix it with like a MCT oil, you know, or something, you know, or some kind of something oil that's ingestible. As far as for topical use, you know, you kind of blend it down and mix it in, because generally what it'll do is it'll crystallize, right? Like when it hardens up, but when it's blended, when it's heated up at I heat it up around like 40 degrees Celsius, I believe it is, maybe a little more or less, whatever. And then you just kind of blend it in with the oils. I actually have a machine that constantly is spinning it as it's heating it, and then it keeps the temperature. So
cool. And then the other thing that most people get confused is CBD is actually a plant. So we say sweet almond oil, but CBD oil is from two types of cannabis plants. You can have it from either one or the hemp plant, which is a breed of cannabis, or you can have it from whatever marijuana. There's probably a scientific name between the two.
Well, from my understanding, and I don't, I've had issues with people trying to correct me. So from my understanding is it's one plant, right? Okay. So you have a plant. Okay. It's the cannabis plant. And then from that plant, you have the two different species of it. You have the hemp, and then you have the marijuana. And then in both of those plants, both of those species of the one plant, the amount of compound of each is what separates them. So when you have the marijuana, you have technically, legally, federally, I guess, they consider anything more than 0.3%. So at 0.4% THC, it's considered marijuana. So you can technically have the same plant. They can grow right next to each other, same strand. If the one happens to have 0.4% THC, legally, it would be considered marijuana. And then if it's neighbor at 0.3%, then it would be considered hemp, even though they both could be, the same strand. So, and I do know that there are certain strands or strains, however, depending on where you're at in the country, that are grown specifically for marijuana, like your Kushes, sour diesels, I mean, I've never tried any of these things. That's all. I don't know. I'm just throwing out names. But then there's other ones that are specifically, genetically, I guess, manufactured, or however they're designed to be specifically for hemp. So they don't have the THC compound. The levels is super. Obviously it's underneath the legal amount. So, and from what I've understood through people that I've talked to, you can actually take a sour diesel, which is like a lot of people smoke it for, as a weed, marijuana. You can design it and you can break it down, and you can regenerate it to where the THC level is low enough to where it's considered hemp, even though it is a marijuana strand. So I don't know. I've never done that. I'm not that kind of, I just get it from the guys that, the professionals, but Yeah, I think there's a big misunderstanding as far as when people hear CBD oil. I think they think of it as like, like you said, a sweet almond oil or a jojoba oil. And it's not actually, it's a concentrate. So it's more of like a solid. And then it's broken down, heated up, mixed with other carrier blends to be what it is.
So Scott asked if there's a release date for the CBD yet.
Oh man, let's all put a date in a hat and no, honestly, I really wish it was months ago. I'm just waiting for my payment processor to stop the vetting process. They basically broke my company down to I've given them access to everything. I'll be very transparent. I've given access to my bank accounts. They can log into it. I think the fact of the name, when they I don't know, maybe when they've checked out, they see Munchies and Wake and Bake, obviously I don't think they can legally maybe process or be a payment processor for a company that sells marijuana. So maybe they're just digging deeper into my company to make sure that I'm not trying to you know what I mean? To
trying to slip it in your oils.
Slip something in there. So I can't hate them for that. It is part of the chronic.
Yeah, that's something that you've experienced. I think even when you started the company, even when you put chronic behind the name, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just like selling weed. You know what I'm saying? We gotta block them here, block them there. So it's like when you have Munchies or Wake and Bake or whatever.
Yeah. So honestly, I've come to the point where, even as recent, and people don't know this, nobody really, maybe 2 or 3 people know this. Back in September, PayPal actually blocked, because I released the Salem Smoke, and I sold the first week, I sold like 90 something bottles, which is really good for me. I was really happy. It was like 96 bottles. I released it on Monday or Tuesday with Mo, and by Friday I was sold out. And cool. So, and a lot of those went through PayPal. About a week and a half later, PayPal froze my account for like about a week and a half.
What's going on here?
I swear to you guys, dude. Listen, they froze it.
I'm not calling you a liar.
No, they froze it. They said that basically there was something going. They were looking into some shit. No, I'm sorry, I don't discuss, but they were looking into some stuff, and they eventually released the funds. And I'm pretty good with transferring funds, after they hit. But I don't know how many hundreds of dollars sitting in there, and they were like, we're holding your funds while we're doing this, whatever. Basically, it was like an audit. I was like, okay, I was like, all right, what I'm. So and then they released it. Yeah, and I was good to go after that. But that was a huge, dang man, what's going on, Because I know people out there that have been caught. You can't sell CBD through PayPal. You can't. You can't process payments through PayPal selling CBD. If you do, they'll shut you down. I got a buddy of mine. He's been shut down. He's like, I can't. He put in his wife's name or whoever. He's like, I can't ever open up a PayPal through my stuff. And from what he said, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's I'm to the point now where it's almost like maybe I should just change the name. Just to be able to push the products. So we'll see how that plays out though.
Sounds like Tyson's had some problems with PayPal as well. That's crazy.
Who's that? Tyson Copper?
Yeah.
I'm still frozen on PayPal. Switch to Square. It's been August. And they still. Wow. I wonder why. Yeah. See, that's what they did. They froze my shit, but they released it. It was like 10 days. They it was like 10 days. They froze it and then they released it.
Yeah.
And I haven't had an issue since. It's only been another month or so, but I haven't had an issue since. But that was also I had a huge influx in sales. Not only was it Salem Smoke, you're talking. For my company, I'm not one of the bigger companies out there, but I had 100 orders go out, and pretty much all of them were bundles. So that's you're talking almost $30 a bundle, and then on top of every other day sales, right? So there's a lot of orders that 1 week, and then literally like come like that following week, they're like, oh no, hold on here, Chronic. What are you doing? That's what I feel like, and then, you try to reach out to, there's nobody to talk to,
Right.
There's nobody that you can, but then I'm going through, actually I'm going through Square right now. That's who I'm going to try to have process my CBD lineup. And, I actually have a sales rep that I'm talking to, and she's a really nice lady, and she's telling me, she's like, everything's looking okay. They're just digging a little deeper, basically. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I remember that whole fiasco with Tyson.
Yeah.
So I was actually, he had a really good heck of a deal, and he was like right when he first started, like within the first couple months.
Yeah.
And that was weird because you couldn't get a sales. It was weird. PayPal is weird, and like, why wouldn't I'm not sure why they wouldn't take, especially with the fact that CBD is been proven to is not a drug. It's not and it's known to not be a drug, but they're having such a problem. And every single company that I know that sells CBD, there's a local company here in Arizona that he will only sell it in his shop.
Yeah.
He will only take a credit card, and he will only sell it in his shop because of all the restrictions behind the CBD label. But you can go to Circle K and go buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
What was weird is, even though PayPal had my account froze, like as far as me being able to transfer money into my account, I was able to still accept payments. So they were still making sure they were getting their money. You know what I mean? They're 2% or whatever should they take off the top. I don't remember it is. So they were still, I was still able to make or accept payments through PayPal. I just wasn't able to transfer the money into my account.
Right.
So they basically were holding my money hostage while they, whatever.
Look for marijuana.
Yeah, let's make sure. See if he's got that chronic. Has he got the fire? But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, James. You know about it way back. It's been something that I've, back in April, I had one of my best sales months to date in April of 2020 of this year, and I had the hardest time with every platform that I'm on. I had so many people. I was being blocked on IG. I was kicked off IG for like a week. I got kicked off my Facebook account. There's so much drama, like crazy stuff going on. But there was like one of my best months. And then, fast forward to September, I had one of my best weeks, and then boom, I got this. It's like, I don't know. It's just really weird, man. I can't explain it. I don't know. I should have just, I don't know. Maybe I should have just came out with a different name.
Right.
I mean, because really, at the end of the day, I got a friend of mine, and I don't mean to keep rambling on, but I have a friend of mine, and he's very successful. I've known him since I was about 8 years old. I started playing football with him. He's very successful. He owns multiple businesses. He lives in Vegas now. He's from Michigan, but he lives in Vegas. I'm sure he's a millionaire, if not close to it. He has, I don't know how many, 1.7 million followers on Facebook, and he does stuff with cars and different things and detailing stuff. And I've talked to him numerous times, and he told me, he said, "Man, it's the name." He said, "It's the way you brand." He said, "It's nothing to do with He's like, "It's the way your brand is." He's like, "You'll never be able to advertise, at least right now, until things change significantly." He's like, "But he's even offered." He's like, "Change the name." He's like, I'll fly you out here to Vegas." He's like, "I'll sit you down with my advertising team." He's like, "I will get you linked up on Facebook." He's like, "I'll get you set up the way I advertise." And he's like, "And we'll grow your business." And I'm thinking like, damn, dude, am I sitting back literally like losing probably a lot of money because I'm too stubborn, or not even about losing money, just maybe losing the opportunity to grow my business.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I love my company. I love Chronic, and
It's definitely tough when you have that name, and it's been obviously very popular when you started out. You know what I'm saying? So even now, so it's like to change it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. As you've grown, especially within the community and stuff like that, as Chronic Beard, and that's what everybody knows you as. You know what I'm saying? But to change it is like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you wouldn't. Obviously, we'd still buy stuff, but it's almost like you wouldn't feel like it would be right. I guess maybe because you've just been so used to Chronic Beard, and that's like who you are. So.
Well, I will throw something out there to you guys, and I don't know how many people's in here. How many people are in here? I don't know if there's a lot, or if there's a couple, or if there's none. I can't see. Well, it doesn't really matter. But I will throw something to you guys that happened, or that I've been thinking about. I have an idea, right, of a brand, and I figured that I could run this brand, and then I can have my beard products powered by Chronic, right? So like it's like an umbrella, I guess you could say. So you have an umbrella of a company, right? Like
it would still be called Chronic, but you would have it masked by something else.
Yeah, right. So I have this company, I have Company A that comes out with beard products, comes out with women fucking lotions, it comes out with apparel, it comes out with whatever it comes out with. So it's this company, but the beard products, the grooming products, the CBD, like topicals are all powered by Chronic Beard. So when I advertise, when I push it, when I do all that, it's all but then when you go to the website, you're okay, well, you have Company A, but the beard product is Chronic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that's kind of like it's kind of stretching it a little thin with as far as the branding, you know what I mean? I'm kind of running too, but I don't know. It's something that I thought about. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, I know we're like sitting here live, so.
No, I think that's a great. I think your buddy's right. Right off the bat, I mean, I have no problem with the word Chronic. Most people don't, that are especially from our generation. But there are some hardliners there's the people that vote against marijuana laws every year.
Yeah.
And as soon as they hear that, they go, no, not for me. Especially with some of the names of them that go along with it.
Yeah.
I could see your buddy's point of view. I think if you have an umbrella company, my personal opinion is that I would just change your name then.
Yeah, that's actually what he told me, because I brought that up to him, and not that I like he's like the end all be all to companies, but he's very successful. He has multiple, and he even told me, he's like, I would love to invest in you, and he's like, and if I invested, he's like, I have to invest silently, because he does stuff with he's like a big into cars and into sports, but he does a lot of stuff with children, and he owns a like an athletic apparel type stuff for sports. So he does like football gear, baseball gear, basketball stuff. Actually, he sponsors our old high school team. He donates all their basketball, lacrosse, baseball, football. He donates all the gear to them. So as of like a couple of years ago, which is really cool. And it's actually called Rock Street, Rock Street. You can look him up. I mean, his Facebook is Your Rip or Your Whip. So yeah, he's a really cool guy, man. I've known him for forever, and he that's what he told me. He's like, man, you just change the name, dude. He's like, yeah, you love it. He's like, just change the name and then whatever. He's like, come out with a Chronic, name, like a scent or something or whatever. He's like, but he's like, don't press it. If you have he's like, if your products are really good and people are digging them, he's like, imagine what you could do if you could, share it to everybody, instead of just, 25% of the world. Because I mean, by the time you break it down, 50% of the world or country don't like it. The other, 50% of that are men, and then however many of them have beards. So, now I'm looking at only 15% of the people that have beards are interested in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, them are just random numbers, but if that made sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really limiting myself by a name.
Yeah, like I said, there's probably just a whole other flow of traffic that's just right here, and you get this little bit of traffic, but it's like you probably have a bunch over here ready to go. But
it's a weird one because you got to think about this also. What also niche are you setting up yourself? There's nobody else who has that name.
Right.
And it is unique. So those two things right there, you have something that's unique name plus good beard products. I think sometimes you don't almost want to go away from that hand because it's kind of a cool little thing. Everybody knows who Chronic is because of the name.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, that's something unique. It's not something, it's not like, and not to take any away from the companies, but I think that when you say Chronic, you know exactly who you're talking about and what you can see the face to it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what and that's something I struggle with. I'm not going to lie. It's like, and I'm not saying I'm changing the company, right? But it's just, it's just tough, man. I mean, in the long run or long term, I think, it would probably, I think it's going to be successful, right? I mean, I'm doing actually pretty good for what it is now, but, the hustle, that's the thing. Like, I don't think people really realize that what I do, behind the scenes, right? The grind every day, the people that, I'm reaching out to, that I'm talking to, I'm building relationship with, and I'm trying to, I'm marketing to, and and I never try to be spammy. I'm not like sending out hundreds of emails that are the exact same thing. You know what I mean? I'm making them unique. Right. I'm making them special. So, that hustle, that grind, that, that it's tough, man. So if I could do that and then still, and then have that easement of like, boom, I can advertise on Facebook. I could put out 10 ads. I could put out 10 ads. I could advertise on Instagram. And then have those extra ones pumping as these other ads while I'm out there hustling. I don't know, man. It's just it's tough, but it'll all work out. And if I ever come up with a new brand, I'm sure you guys will. Hopefully you guys will hear about it, because then I ain't doing something right.
What's really cool though is that your products, and this is the one thing that, take away the name and the company and everything, the products are great, and you're doing the right stuff to be able to maintain, especially in this business. To have any market share, you have to be a little unique and you have to be excellent to get good market share, because there's a whole lot of mediocre. Me and several people talk about that every day. There's a whole lot of mediocre.
Yeah.
But to have that excellent product and innovative, that is something that you are. So those are the things that will drive your business into the future. And I think that by itself, maybe the name change, maybe not, but I think that your products are genuinely good, and it's a word of, it's a household name because it's good, not because of what it's maybe what people think it represents.
Yeah.
And those are things that you can think about. Those are things you can think about. Your products are that good. What will take you to the next step for yourself, that's going to make you into the holistic company. And that's just something for you, right?
Well, I'll be honest with you guys, and I would hope you guys will be honest. Well, I'll ask you an honest question. Sorry. Do you think, I mean, Chronic, obviously, the average person is going to think of maybe, well, at least the people that I run with, they would think of Chronic, right? But the average, maybe the other side of the spectrum, they may think of like chronic pain, like long-term, like the actual definition of chronic, like long-term, continuous, never-ending,
right?
Whatever. So if I was to take like yank the logo, not necessarily like yank it, but like not make it like the focal point of the company, right? And then maybe switch some of the, instead of it being Munchies, be whatever, and then instead of being Wake and Bake, because obviously if you have Chronic with the logo, with the Munchies, I mean, it starts, there's like obviously there's a trend, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm walking the line of either way, right? I mean, I could be a marijuana company. I could be Chronic Beard selling, Chronic blunts. or it could be chronic. You know what I mean? Like at the end of I mean, I'm rational enough to realize I'm walking a fine line. You know what I mean? So, I kind of think like I could keep the name, but just yank, not necessarily take away the logo, just not make it, like I said, the focal point, and then just change the product or the scent names. You know what I mean? Just change them to more, family friendly or whatever you want to. You know what I mean? I don't know if
you were to do that, I would say change your name. That's just my personal opinion. If you were to do that, you were to change the product name.
James had a different opinion because James.
What was your opinion, James?
So I don't mean it. Just when you said that, I looked at him and he kind of.
Yeah. Go ahead, James.
No, I mean I agree with a good idea. Essentially, I know it's hard to think of without losing the Chronic name and just actually changing names of other things or whatever to kind of make it seem more not like chronic as in chronic pain or chronic as in marijuana or something like that. But I totally get it. So I mean I think it's a good idea. Obviously there's other idea, other things that you can think of as well as obviously just see which one works for you and see which one works, get you where you need to be, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm more with Andy on this one. I think like if you I obviously what you say is valid, but like if you come to the point where you're going to change the identity, if you're cutting away half of what it is, where does it really kind of leave the company? But I'm not saying I'm doing that. I mean, I just keep pushing. It's not like it pays I don't want to sound like arrogant or anything, but it doesn't pay my bills, right? It's a hustle for me. This is something that I enjoy doing, even though, don't get me wrong, I put in way more time than I get paid for what I think that for what I used to make in Detroit, working in the unions, the many hours I put into this business, I would be having a lot bigger paychecks. I can tell you that much. But it's not about the money. It's about the, for me, it's really about just really wanting to grow it. And, I don't know, man, but we'll just keep pushing it. And if I come out with a different company, hell, I might just come out with a different company and keep Chronic. Actually, that's what my buddy told me to do. He said, come out with another company. He said, push them both. Don't tell nobody or tell everybody. Because I told him about the community. He understands about, even though he's not in the community, even though he has a beard, but he doesn't know anything about how this community works. You know what I mean? He's like, just come out with another company. He's like, you obviously have the end with that company. He's like, you know where to market to, at least to get your foot out there. He's like, you don't have to tell people. He's like, just come out with another business. He's like, push both of them. He's like, push company A, push company B. He's like, if one starts, he's like, if your second company is able to, excel, then, obviously you just put all your energy into one. I was like, well,
sure.
So we'll see.
Well, the example is like, and people, if you remember the 90s, there was Touchstone Films, right? And if you remember that was a big label. They made rated R movies. They were a big company that was making, but they were.
I was born in '99.
Yeah. So during the 90s, there was a company called Touchstone
No, I'm
Films.
just kidding. I was born in '84. I just made Andy feel old. He's like, God, gosh darn it. He was like, oh. No, I'm just kidding.
But there was Touchstone Films, right? And so Touchstone was a subsidiary owned by Disney. And Disney did not want to be known as some company that was making rated R movies. So they tried to separate themselves from a very profitable Touchstone, which was making good movies, rated R movies. I can't remember all the movies they made, but they were big name, big labels. Yeah. But they didn't want to associate that Disney with that type of thing. So you're absolutely there is something to be played there. And especially when you're talking about making different lines and doing some different stuff that you could possibly split off. Yeah, absolutely do it.
Yeah, you can have that one, but like you said, have that one. Almost like you said, umbrella, have that one, but still sell, Chronic.
Well, it's like Kellogg's, right? I think Kellogg's, if you look them up, Google it. They own it's like 10 other cereal brands. You know, I mean, I know it's obviously something, but Kellogg owns them. You know what I mean? So they just have a bunch of other, you know, brands that they can sell at Walmart or Kroger's, and then brands that they can sell at, you know, the Save-A-Lots or the little bit cheaper, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's all, you know, I don't know. You know, it's not like the company's unstable. It's just behind the scenes, a deal that, you know, the stuff that I go through, you know, it goes away and then it comes back. It goes away and it comes back. You know,
Right.
James, he's heard about it for the past year. I mean, you know, there's been times where I hit him up. I'm like, dude, I'm getting hate emails. I've had people message me, calling me every name in the book but a white man. Like, you, sorry, whatever. And I'm like, I'm generally think I'm a pretty nice guy, dude. You know, I'm not mean to people. You know, I believe in karma, so that's the way I run with myself in life, right? I believe, you know, the old saying, you know, you just treat people the way you want to be treated, and that's how I conduct myself. And there's been times I'm like, God, what I do to deserve that, you know, or even like, man, I wish I, you know. And then sometimes you get mad. You're like, well, I don't know, but it's all good, man. It'll all work out, and hopefully, hopefully I will be able to launch this CBD, whether it's through Chronic or it's through, you know, ABC Band or Beard Club or whatever. So, because I got some really good products, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude. When I started wearing it, I've had people telling me like, "Damn, man, how long has it been since you shaved?" I'm like, "Well, I ain't shaved in like 7 years, but like, what do you mean?" You're like, they're like, "No, like your beard looks super thick." I'm like, "Oh, it's been, you know, it's literally." I knew to myself, I'm like, "Well, I've just been rocking that CBD for the last like couple of weeks, you know." And it wasn't like a major, you know, it's not gonna make anything grow any different, right? You're gonna have what you have, but when your beard's healthier and, you know, it's fuller and it's noticeable. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys understand that with other products, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's products that you tried and you're like, damn, my shit looks stringy. There's been oils that I put in, I'm like, it's like stringy. I don't even know, you know what I mean? And you're like, why? And then you do something different. You're like, oh, okay, now I feel better. You know?
I try to figure out what carrier oil that they did that added something to it that made it a certain style. I've noticed, I've been trying Tyson's this week, and I've had so many compliments on the fullness of my beard, of it looking good and, you know, looking healthy, and then also with how full it looks. And I was like, that's interesting. You know, but what makes it do that is the question. Like, is it the inland sea minerals? I think there's a little bit of that going on there too. But it's interesting to start diving into that stuff. Like, what is it that's doing this? Now, I know, for instance, my hemp, absolutely love hemp seed oil.
Oh yeah, love it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple companies. There's actually, I bought it from.
I know one company that loves him.
Yeah.
I know one. No.
I know one really big company that loves hemp, and I will tell you that there's several out there that do, and every time I'm so happy with the results of the hemp seed oil, and especially your products. That butter is super good, just super good.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, and sometimes I'm not one that loves to hear compliments. I'm like, it's almost uncomfortable sometimes. I don't know why. It's weird. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just being super humble or something, but I don't think they're the best, because I know that there's things that I could work on with the products, and it's tough to, to make them adjustments, especially if you've ever bought in bulk or something. But I really do appreciate that. You know, I know when Mo, we all know Mo the Shark, right?
Yeah.
He when he came out with he did a review on my stuff, and he reached out to me about, you know, the products, and he was doing something with summer extravaganza or something, and he said that he hated hemp seed oil. You know, he just never liked it or whatever. And then he said that he also would never, initially he thought he would never try my company. So he said, "Oh, I'm not going to try that company because of the marijuana or whatever, like the reference to it, I guess. And then he said it changed his mind, you know. And hearing stuff like that, it's like, to me, like that's a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me feel amazing, dude. It made, for the company. And, Mo, obviously, he's a great guy too. He's super honest, and he's never. So to hear that, that felt really good. So when I hear people say that they love hemp seed, and honestly, I've never really met anybody that said they didn't. I don't know. I mean, anybody that like, oh yeah, it does great for me. I mean, obviously, I guess there's other beard oils out there that are just, I don't know. What are some other blends that you guys feel like are amazing? Emu oil. I hear that's like.
Yeah, that's something else that works pretty good.
That's something I've been actually testing.
Yeah, I think that Emu hemp is like one of my top. Bearded Mac has several unique ones. Baraka, I like castor oil. I'm a big castor oil fan. So I like the thicker oils. So those, and Bearded Mac has some really exotic ones that are really good.
Yeah, I have never
like
tried
Brazilian, like Brazil, from the Brazilian, from Brazil, like the rainforest type of nuts from the rainforest. Super good.
My hemp seed oil is grown and processed locally here in Tennessee. It's literally like 20 minutes from my house. The butter is not from here, but it's still from the United States. But the hemp seed oil is from here. I've thought about trying to get some exotic stuff. I've looked into different things, but I don't know, man. I don't know if.
Yeah, well, I think you got a good product, so I don't think I think you can always try some different stuff, but what you have right now is a really good blend. It works well. It works well, and that's there's a lot of people that can't. I've had some other stuff that doesn't work well,
right?
So I always enjoy that. Well, guys, I'm on call today, so we're coming up to my time frame where I got to go and try to figure out what's wrong with a couple servers. So we will have you on again, Mike. I've told you this. I support a few companies, like a handful, if not a little bit more than that, of companies, and you're definitely in that bag of people that I really like. I like you as a person, and as an owner. We appreciate you coming on. But what's going on in the next week or two? What's going on? We got a big sale coming up for sure.
Come Black Friday, there's going to be a big sale. There's going to be a sale, and then there's going to be a free product with it. So on top of the sale, you're going to get a free product, and actually the free product will be a unreleased scent, mystery scent. So.
Well, sure.
So it's something special. That's just to throw it out there. That's what it's going to be. I'll start promoting that here probably in a couple days or whatever. So, it's going to be a big sale that day with the mystery scent, and it's a really cool scent. It's honestly, I love it. So it's something that I'm actually rocking right now. I actually mentioned it earlier. I said I'm wearing something that I just made. So
cool.
It's really cool. And then that's overall, I'm just hoping this CBD stuff can launch soon, because I literally have I have obviously oil, butter, wash, conditioner. I don't have a co-wash anymore. I have an actual wash out conditioner now. I don't want to do the co-wash because I mean, what's the point of having a wash and a co-wash? Just have a wash and then the conditioner. Me personally, so. And then I have some other stuff, some kind of scrubs, lotions, and different things that are a bunch of CBD stuff coming for men, women, stuff for your skin. I'm just waiting for that, and once that comes, I'm just gonna be hitting. So, and James actually will be launching my CBD oil and butter. When I do launch it, I will be launching with James and Joe from Bearded Life when we launch, because James has been down with me since, like I said, pretty much since day one, and Joe has too. Joe's been there for a long time, so I figured it was the right thing to do to bring those guys in with me as I launched this something that's super special to myself and to the company. So
Right.
really
And
excited.
that's actually
about that.
how I heard about you, Mike, is I've seen your ads, but Joe was like, no, you got to try Chronic Beard. They're really good. And I was just like, okay, sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. I really appreciate you having me on, man. Anytime, I'm anytime, obviously if you have me on at a certain time, you're going to see the kids,
I love it, man.
Father first, man, Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm a family man, dude, off the top. That's just who I am. Being a good father is the most important thing to me in this world, because them kids deserve that. And, it's just how I feel. So, but yeah, man, anytime, man, I would love to be on.
Okay, cool. Right on. So you'll definitely see more invites, of course. Any last thoughts, James? Anything you going on this week? What's going on?
Not too much. I mean, it's always a pleasure talking to this guy right here. I mean, I always have fun. I always have fun chatting with him. It's like seriously a big brother. Like seriously, you know what I'm saying? So I do hope that obviously we get a chance to obviously meet. I know we will. So, yeah, man, it's always awesome to chat with you. Like every time we talk, we'll talk.
Actually, hit me up after this, bro. I'm gonna talk to you about some stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I've been meaning to hit you up. Me and James, we're friends outside of the beard world. We talk sometimes. We talk. We used to talk a lot more, but he randomly messages. What's cool about James, and I'll give him a shout out. When he hits me up, he's not just like, "Hey Mike, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey man, how's the family? How are the kids? How's the wife?" And I swear to you, every time it's always, "How you doing, Mike? How are your kids? How's your wife? How's life?" It's not just like, "Hey, what's going on, bro?" You know what I mean? He generally always asks about my kids and my wife, and I respect that like 100. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's why we like James. That's why he's on. That's why I said, what a good co-host. Yeah, we're gonna.
That was awesome. I didn't even know he was co-hosting. That's sweet. Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, he was excited we were gonna have you on. So it's always good times to have good company.
And if you ever want like a co-host, dude, honestly, I like just holler at me, man. If you ever, I don't mind. I mean, I know it's not. I would. Just to be a face and in the room, man, I'm more than happy, dude. I love that.
Love that. That's awesome.
So Josh said it's okay, Mike. I'm too busy to consult with anyway. Or anyway.
Josh who?
Josh, yeah, he said that's okay. I'm too busy to consult with you anyhow.
Who is he? Josh Quarterbaked? What is his name? He's 8th baked. Is it 10th? We'll call him a 10th baked. I just talked to him for like 3 hours earlier while I was cleaning out my office. I was literally on the phone with him he's getting his feelings hurt. You see that? I'll call you tomorrow, Puddin'. Hey, Josh, I'll send you some pictures later, buddy. I'll send you some pictures. You'll know what I'm talking about. I'll send you some beard pictures.
Oh man,
good times.
Well, I appreciate your time though, Andy.
Mike, it's awesome to have you on. Yeah, Mike, it's awesome to have you on. And I unfortunately I get on call on Thursday nights, but I don't want to miss because me and James are pretty good at doing this. So we have a good time. I enjoy actually more seeing what he comes up with as a dessert every week. I'm like, what's he
I missed it. I didn't even know this was y'all's thing. I need to like hit the bell. I'm not.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Snickerdoodle.
Show off what you got. I did. I'm a bum. I just brought Hello.
What is that?
A little snickerdoodle like bars kind of thing. Yeah, almost kind of brownies, but they're like bread like texture, but pretty good. They're actually like vegan friendly. They actually don't have any eggs or butter in them.
So what's in them? So
I don't want them, man, bro. No butter.
No, you can add butter. It's fine. You can add butter to them. It's fine.
So
You see how big my head is?
You can spread butter on it. Fine. You can still spread butter on it.
you can put butter on anything. What are you talking about?
I need butter.
You
don't become 6'1", 310 pounds by not eating butter. Like it's like part of your diet. It's like eggs, butter, steak, butter. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, James still owes me a bunch of cookies, but I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it. Just
you mentioned the cookies. Him and Mel are the cookie fanatics here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just phenomenal. I mean, and they make these gourmet cookies. It's not like just cookies; it's gourmet cookies. They should go into business. That's what they should do. They would make a killing just in our community. Just the community would make.
I honestly feel like I don't deserve a gourmet cookie because I'm about to disrespect the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'm just gonna be like,
that's good times.
Be like mine, you know. It's not even. It's just a goner. Like that was a fancy cookie. Ah man,
it's a cookie. It's got cookie. It's got
I dunked in whole milk and ate it whole. And that ain't no. Let me see 6 of his sisters and his brother. I'll taste it next time.
Just eat like cereal. Just throw a whole bowl of cookies.
I can't just eat a cookie. You gotta like the first 3. You gotta just put them down, and then afterwards you chew them because then you're like, damn. That's when you realize that you're fat. You're like, damn, I just ate 3 cookies. I didn't even taste them. You know what I'm saying? By the 4th cookie, you're like, all right, I can taste it.
Like, didn't we just have a whole thing of Oreos? And I ate breakfast.
Oh, you know what, dude? I'm gonna tell you guys. I'll end on this note. You wanna know a fat moment?
Fat note.
I'll end on this fat note. I gotta go work. I'm gonna go out to bench press. You know what? I'm not gonna lie though. I might eat like a lot, dude. But I mean, I'm like 300. I'm about like 296. But I can bench press like 405. Like I hit it a couple times at least. So I mean, at least I'm strong and fat. So it kind of makes me feel justified.
It's all muscle.
If you want to know a fat moment, dude, I bought the double stuffed Oreos. So what I did was I was hungry. I came home from Walmart, super hungry. My wife's like, "Oh, I'm making dinner." I'm like, "All right." Like, damn, I'm hungry. So I take these Oreos, just rip into them, just with my teeth. No, just I was like, no, but I just opened them, just ripped them open. No, so I open them and I take them. I have a big ass cup, and I just fill the whole cup up. And then I fill it up with milk, right? So it fills it all the way up. So, and we're like, this is the top of the cup, and then this is the milk. It's like a bucket. It's like a brain. And I'm like, so I just drink a little bit of the milk off, and I'm like, nah, I could fit like, if I crush it, I'm thinking because I'm fat, like if I crush it down a little bit, I can shove at least 3 more cookies in there. Even though there's already like 12. So I did. I chugged like half the milk, and I crushed it. And I shoved 3 more cookies in there, and I filled back up with milk. And then it's like this big soggy pudding of fucking
like not even cookie no more.
Oreo double stuff cookies and milk. It's like
soggy.
It's like 5% milk at this point. It's all just nasty. So I just swam the milk, and I'm sitting there, and my wife, she's just looking at me like, and I'm like, what? And she's just like,
oh my god.
I'm like, are you embarrassed of me or something? Like, what are we doing here? And she's like, there's like 15 cookies in that one cup. And I'm like, oh, should have had dinner done before I got home, I guess. I don't know.
I bet that was.
No, it wasn't one of more,
before I went home.
She was laughing. It was definitely one of my fatter moments. So, anyways, we'll end on the old. But you should try it. Try it out, man.
I'm gonna smush some cookies together, and then especially the double stuff. Have you guys tried there's those different flavor ones, but I still go to the originals.
Yeah, the originals are the best. LGs, yeah.
Yeah, they had some weird ones. What do they have? They have a strawberry one and
strawberry. Oh yeah, I tried them.
Like peanut butter pie or something like that.
Like, I'm not. You know what though? A lot of people I don't like peanut butter that much, so I'm not a huge peanut butter for some reason. I don't know why.
My wife is not, and if she eats too many just peanuts, she had Snickers. No, her tongue swells up.
Oh, because she's allergic. I mean, that's not
a little bit, and it's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't eat all the Snickers because your tongue's swelling. She's like, well, that was what was for dinner. I meant that was me that did that. I should never say that she did that, but that was Snickers dinner.
Snickers dinner. I love Snickers.
Tell
her to eat some Milky Ways. That's Snickers cousin, just no nuts.
I know that's what. So she's a Milky Way. That's the one thing she likes. So that's what she was. And then she's just her tongue is swelling, and she's like, yeah, halfway through, but I still like Snickers enough to keep eating them.
Right. Hey, can I ask you a question? What do you do for you're on a call? I don't know.
I'm an IT engineer. So.
I'm sorry.
IT engineer.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I've been at the same company 23. So I've been.
So by bearded practitioner, I honestly figured you maybe were a nurse practitioner.
No, I'm a meditation teacher.
Nice.
So that's the practitioner. Well, Buddhist. I'm a Buddhist. So
my wife is going to go back to be an MP. That's one of her goals is to be a nurse practitioner.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And that's, I know some good friends that are I guess it's my stepdad got remarried, and when my mom passed on, and she was a nurse for many, many years and absolutely loved it. So, and I have a lot of good friends that are in the nursing career. It's an amazing career.
Yeah, my wife's a nurse now. Yeah, she has a nursing degree, but she's going back. She wants to go back and get her, I guess it's her doctorate. I think is what she said she's got to get.
Right, to be able to prescribe medicine and do all the other stuff. Right. Yeah, there's more money. I'm
go ahead, honey. I mean, that's big money. I was like, I'll just stay home and
make beard products.
Yeah, I'll just grow chronic. Hell, I'll come out with alcoholic beer too. I think while we're at it, we'll just go down both lanes. Be meth beard and all kinds of stuff. But
sounds fun.
But I appreciate you having me on, man.
No problem. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks everybody else who is in the chat. We had such a good time. We'll have to pick this up again. And now that we know more about your company, next time we can just chat and hang out and shoot the crap, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Good times. Good times. Appreciate it. James, again, thanks for coming on in and being here. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. I didn't know you were good friends with him actually. So I thought that was really even cooler. Surprise.
I mean, I'm he's my friend. I don't know if I'm really his, but you're gonna make it awkward.
He's my friend, and then you're like, well, he's not really that close to a friend.
James like, well, we're cool. I don't really know him, but we're yes.
I was talking to somebody the other day. It's kind of funny because you have friends that you're like, hey, this is my bestie, and they're like, yeah, not really, but yeah, besties, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name again?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you soon. Next week, we have a very unique guest on. So it's not a beard company. It is a beard. I guess he's kind of a beard authority. He also has kind of a different look. He has a good amount. He's a big YouTuber. So his name is Greg. And we'll have him on next week to discuss some really cool subjects. So we'll talk to you guys next week.
Nice.